Hello everybody and welcome back to Space Hulk. We're just going to do some quick ability upgrades where we're going to improve our armour and head towards our next, well, psychic power. We have a free slot available and we're going straight into mission number 2, or chapter 2, Cadia's Hand. Unfortunately what's happened to Cadia in the recent media, but well, that's what happens when you don't build a wall to keep the chaos out. Now this is, I mean, it's an interesting premise. I would actually prefer, this is me personally, I do like that this is an FPS. Like I said, I am looking to do a multiplayer playthrough of this on Twitch. I think that'd be fun. It's something I don't see often. Even when it was released, I didn't see a lot of people covering it. But if there is going to be another Space Hulk game, there is a sequel to Ascension coming out. What I'd like to see would be an XCOM style game where you go from Space Hulk to Space Hulk with, yes, I know Belial, I'll get to you in a minute, where you go from Space Hulk to Space Hulk, not just dealing with Gene Stealers but with other stuff as well, because some Space Hulks can be Chaos Bases, Orcs particularly like them, and have it be a bit like XCOM where you have 100 first company troopers in Terminator armour, maybe even in power armour if you're playing the chapter that doesn't necessarily have 100 suits of Terminator armour.
Precious time and lives will be wasted. The Emperor abhors failure.
And basically just explore randomly generated Space Hulks like an XCOM style thing. You keep the bridgeheads safe, you can expand outwards, and then you have to come back when there's an attacker threatening a bridgehead and all that. There's 5 relics on this map. I don't think we'll find all of them, but we do now have an assault cannon, so we're going to actually give that a run out. We haven't unlocked the next psychic power. There's quite a few choices to pick from, but the assault cannon is going to be fun. It's not got the whole twitch movement of the Stormbolter where you just shoot something that comes flying around the corner at you. Well, that was some precise teleporting. However, you can spin it up a little. Also, that doesn't look like a transport ship. That looked like we're on a Redemption class battleship.
Nothing could be done hastily and prudently, Brother Barricade. So
I think I can hear something. I think I hear something this way. Or it could just be metal cooling. Just, you don't really get a scale of Imperial shipping until you do play games like this. Okay, they're coming from that direction. Let's go the other way. Where you play a game like this where you play as a character that is arguably a lot taller. Space Marines on average are about 8 foot tall. In Terminator armour they're closer to 9. In Centurion armour they approach over 10. But like, even though this is a ship that isn't designed for Space Marines, it's designed for normal humans. And we're still fitting through doorways. You can imagine what it was like for normal humans on this ship. Just to scale these vessels. Granted, a lot of the reason for it is that's a missile launcher, is because a lot of these ships used to be designed to have Space Marines on board, especially if they've served since the Great Crusade. What the hell was that? It's still, these are massive vessels. And yes, I do apologize. I make no apologies for being a nerd about this stuff. I absolutely love it, and whenever a new 40k game comes out, I am genuinely quite excited because I want to see it do well. I want it to be a good game. I want to see it do well. Okay, I didn't know if there was a missile launcher over there or if they just got lucky with a shot in the explosive barrel. Oh, everything's now dead. Apart from that one, who's about to be. I do like how they've also brought into fact into account weapon gems. Now, I did say we'd look at the bestiary last time, and we will be doing, once I've dealt with the current infestation. That's not a heavy stubber. That's a conversion beamer. What does a conversion beamer do? Well, they're mainly used in mining. Well, what do they do? They turn atoms into, I think, electrons. I might be remembering that wrong. I don't play a force that uses conversion beamers a lot. I think it's only really tech marines that use conversion beamers in Space Marine armies, and I don't really field tech marines. Mainly because I don't field a lot of vehicles. Not that I don't want to, but I don't really need a tech marine when I'm playing. I mean, this ship needs a tech marine, that's for certain. Let's have a look at the bestiary before the next wave hits. Seems like a good time. An aberrant. These are lovely. Let's have a look, shall we? These are gene stealers. Shock troops. Hybrids. Can use close combat. Third generation hybrids are the ones that inflict close combat damage because they're closer to the claws. Every fourth generation you get a gene stealer. And these are basically suicide bombers, but aberrants, no one knows what makes an aberrant. They generally come out during the fourth generation alongside gene stealers. If you were infected by a gene stealer and you were making the next generation after mythology, you wouldn't have like multiple gene stealers. You'd still be under the restraints of your species. It's been implied recently that if good job I scanned the map. If gene stealers get hold of an insectoid species, then you do have a very difficult time getting rid of them. But they do only tend to pick intelligent species. They don't pick like random animals that have enough biomass to support a gene stealer, like the xenomorph, which only tends to pick animals that have enough biomass to support no shit. Oh, there's a fair few of these, isn't there? Oh, you picked the wrong place to stand, buddy. Just in case. Okay, everything appears to be dead. But yeah, gene stealers have the most genetic variation of most of the Hive fleet. I mean, you'll still get bio-augmentations of other tyranny creatures, but gene stealers tend to be the ones that have the largest number, like broodlords and Yamagal strains and all sorts of other ones. Let's just okay, I'm not gonna try to enable. Ow. This is the problem with hacking. If you get shot, you get knocked out of it. This is why I think it's a lot more viable in multiplayer than single player. You can hack in the jam. Ow. Okay, I'll just wipe this one out first, shall we? What are you hoping to achieve? I've got an assault cannon. I don't know if I'm actually in range to hack that turret, but if I do it back here, it's very unlikely for me to get winged. Because that's a problem in single player, as I was saying. The autogun can knock you out of hacking. It's alright when you've got a wave of gene, well, it's not alright when you've got a wave of gene stealers approaching you, it's a wave of gene stealers. If you're a normal person, you'd be balking and out. Even Space Marines get worried when those numbers are coming after them. Okay, doesn't seem to be anyone on this side. Brachial appears to be holding everyone off quite successfully. I think Twin Assault Cannon was the right call here. The issue is I'm the one who keeps getting hurt in this mission. Like I said, it is mainly because I am the Vanguard and the Space Marines AI won't go ahead of you. Okay, move to here and then get ready to defend here. Okay, open it up. Also, yeah, 40k Universe, reuse people as fuses. Okay, you two defend here. I'll deal with this. Yeah, those are actual fuses. They use the people as biological fuses. To be fair, they are criminals in this universe, but some stuff do. You'd think wouldn't make you a criminal in this time, in this universe would.
Mission status acceptable. Destroy
just acceptable, Belial. Go to your answer, please.
The lion guides our fury.
We have to prevent.
Well, hopefully he guides my fire.
From the nests we have just discovered.
Oh, now we discovered the nest.
Justice.
One thing a lot of people don't know, unless they're Dark Angel players or they're, again, like me, and I make no apologies for it, it's a universe I love, I should be excited about it. A complete nerd on the history of the 40k universe for me is, in the original game of Space Hulk, set up the premise for why the Dark Angel, I believe it was an actual... It was actually a misprint by the artist, but the reason the Dark Angel Elite Company was white and not green was because Tyranids, the Dark Angels were people in a number of worlds, and they used to have it where they used to be very different from what they are these days. It used to be that Dark Angels would recruit a number of worlds, let's take out the BioAcid Zero, that's not talking here, and it would also be that certain worlds would only provide warriors for certain companies, like Fourth Company would hire from a specific world and Third Company wouldn't hire from that world. Led to a lot of elitism and all that within Dark Angels of, well, I'm from this company, so I I'm guaranteed to be in the second company. And the first company were no different. Okay, what was this got to say? The first company were, again, they picked a particular world and they hired from that world. And they exclusively hired from that world, or not hired, they recruited from that world. And the Tyranids invaded that world.
Mission accomplished, brother.
This is, I mean, absolutely yonks ago, so it's like the Tyranids were completely unrecognisable to what they are now as an army. But the Tyranids invaded and wiped out the planet, but they also wiped out the Deathwing. Completely wiped out the Deathwing. You were sent to stop them. All 100 Deathwing were killed, as was the planet. So, in memoriam, because the entire Dark Angels chapter descended and wiped out the High Fleet that had attacked that world, any members of the Deathwing painted their armour white. It wasn't unheard of. The Ravenwing painted their armour black. They'd done that before, there was no reason they did it. Well, there was a reason for the Ravenwing painting it black, because they did hunt down the Fallen, which we're currently trying to deal with. Because he discovered a ship to be harbour the load of Fallen. Yep, point blank assault cannons, this is going to go well, but it's not. Ooh, the very big crap handler. Again, I apologise if there's any desyncing in this video, I will try and catch it. At the minute there isn't any desyncing whilst I'm playing, but that's not a guarantee. Oh good, someone got that with a stray round. Then I'm hoping I don't have to actually side gate out, because I'd like to be able to move out side gating out. Excuse me? You get lightning. Yeah, that's why the Deathwing were white when the entire Dark Angels chapter is green. Because the world they used to be on got wiped out, and it also caused the Dark Angels to rethink their recruitment strategy. Because obviously, well, that brings up a lot of issues. What if another world we exclusively recruit from gets wiped out? And the entire Dark Angels strategy changed. Dark Angels are actually one of the most tactically flexible chapters. Not in the way the Space Wolves are, but to a point they are very tactically flexible. Okay, kill that. Kill those. Miracle, I know you're focusing on target, but still. Guys, you've got decent peripheral vision. I mean, unless that's why I'm not wearing a helmet. Okay, you get a power fist. No, you get a power fist. Follow a power fist. Really powerful, but slow to hit. How did that happen when you can get up there? Ow, excuse me. You get him, Barakiel? Good. Ooh. Not in well for that guy. Okay, actually I'm going to order this lot to move to there. We can actually close doors behind us. I've not really been doing it because it's an early mission, but at the same time I think we need to. Right, follow. Something's whispering on the other side of that wall. Okay, I'll take one, shouldn't I? Well, the missile launcher just got shredded. Oh, this is another building. Which I haven't sealed, which means they could potentially come. Okay, you get missiles. You with your missiles, you're getting a bolt-on lightning to the face. Okay, those arrows do get troublesome. Conversion beamers, basic mining equipment, cause all sorts of trouble for actual power. Again, you tend to find out with a lot of the armies, it'll be like, oh well, this was originally used for mining, but on this world it was discovered to be a really effective weapon, so now it's used by this force as a weapon. Please say I got him. No, that got him. Nathaniel, please heal yourself, because I don't want to lose those 2 extra health ones. Oh, we're about to enter a nest, and we are pretty low on health. Oh, well, we've ruined the carpet. Oh, have it, you foul Xenos. And you. Maybe I should have dropped the difficulty, but then again, why? Okay, no, I need to get healed, or at present an auto gun will take me out. But you follow to there, and I will seal this door behind us. Yeah. The reason I'm closing it using a hacking system is because if I don't, they can actually open up the doors behind us. Right, lads, follow me. Clear out the corridors as we go, because I'm going to try and seal this extra door as well. Case in point, they like to leap as well. Oh, not open. No, Nathaniel, what are you doing, Nathaniel? Okay, you need to move to there, because otherwise they're going to try and sneak around. Whereas if you're aiming both ways down the corridor, they shouldn't do that. That's it, they are at least smart about aiming different directions. Until an enemy wave approaches and they aim at that enemy wave. Kill it. Also, psychic powers, pretty decent long range on them actually. That's not a heavy stubber, that is an autocannon. Let's just destroy that, shall we?
May the machine spirit protect my armor.
Oh, Barakiel, are you shooting at that? Okay, we might need to actually use the side gate here. Okay, these both lead the same way, so I'm just gonna seal this one up. Okay, we know there's a turret around the corner, but I don't think we have to deal with it. Peekaboo! It's the Space Marines, how are you doing? No, we do have to deal with that. Okay, we will deal with that soon. I'll just deal with that right now. Okay. Oh, they're coming from both directions. Why did I open this door? I suppose we're closing the doors, however, it does force us in us to just start bunching up and coming at you in larger waves. I mean, granted, you know which direction they're coming from, so, you know, swings and roundabouts. But at the same time, like I say, sometimes it can cause real issues. Especially when there are actually larger Xenos in this game, such as Broodlords, but there are in-between ones, and we're going to have to Cygate here. We've got 3 available, but we could potentially lose Nathaniel, and we're out of medkits anyway. Should I switch back to Stormbolter? I don't think so. Do you just live in there? Okay, fair enough. Yeah, here's where your other 2 crewmates would be. That's probably the Librarian. I think that's why they limited Cygate numbers. But if the Librarian decides, no, we're warping out right now, you all get warped out. Not just the Librarian, the entire squad gets warped out and comes back in. As you can see, we've come back into where we were before. So wasn't there something whispering? I'm sure there was. Now we're going to have to deal with the next nest. What was that? Problem is, whilst I have sealed the doors, there are still ways for Gene Stealers to get in. They are surprisingly flexible for 6-foot death machines. Okay. Nest number 2. Back up to full health. Side note, if you are going to play this game, big doors cannot be destroyed, so you have to unblock them. Okay, lads. In we go. I'll seal this up behind us. Only way we're leaving this room is if we kill everything in it. Also, watch out for the bioplasmoids. Open up. Lightning! Harvest! Almost Harvest interrupts your reload cycle. Okay, everything seems to be doing alright so far. Close this up. Okay, and now deal with you. I blow you into chunks. Daniel, keep yourself alive. If you drop, you can't heal anymore. Brachio, cover him. Whoever's just shot me that got lightning up above. I'll open these and hope someone brings them in fire. Okay, we good? Nope, we've wiped out the last of them in the room. Lightning! Oh yeah, psychic powers also interrupting the reload cycle. Any more for any more? No? Good. Okay, I think that's a very forward job. Woo! So that has been the Spacehook Mission 2, where we were just doing some housekeeping and cleaning out the Xenos. Don't think I'll be using the Heavy Flamer, but who knows, maybe we will. Until then, however, I will see everyone in the next video. Thank you so much for joining me, procrastinators. May the Emperor protect you on your own missions, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.